Hi, it's Andy here again this week, and I'm here at the gorgeous, if not exceptionally low, Langsett reservoir here just outside Sheffield. Why am I here in the south then? Well, the south is a particular focus area for us at the moment. Reservoir levels are a bit lower in this area of the region, and as has been explained on previous updates, reservoir levels do differ across the region. Particularly here in the south, we have had a bit less rainfall than other parts of the region, which means we are supporting this area a bit more from both a raw water point of view and a treated water point of view. Now, we have had a bit of rainfall, which is most welcomed, but given it's been exceptionally dry, the ground has soaked it all up. Flowers, plants, gardens and crops have taken up that needed water, so we haven't seen the positive impact that we'd like to see in our reservoirs. What we have seen though is a bit of a slowdown of the decline. On average, we're declining about 3% per week, which means we're standing around the mid 30% level across the region. Now, the positive impact we have seen is the implementation of tubs, so the hose pipe restrictions are having the positive impact we've hoped for. The levels have declined a bit less given the implementation, so a big thank you to all of our customers as ever with their continued support and efforts with this. It really is appreciated by us. Now, things are very different to how they were back in 1995 for those that can remember the drought back then. Here at Yorkshire Water, we've invested millions and millions in improving the resilience and reliability of our infrastructure and network, and it's enabled us to do things a bit differently this year. Firstly, leakage. Leakage has halved since 1995. We've still got a lot more work to do in terms of leakage, but we've halved it since 95, and if we just cast our mind back to the most recent drought, 2022, leakage has come down by 20 million litres of water per day. Now, we are still having a particular focus here in the south area to get on top of leakage and further drive it down, as we know we need to do that, and we've redirected a lot of our resource internally and externally to help support that position. Secondly, we've also got the Yorkshire grid. Now, since 1995, we've heavily invested in our Yorkshire grid system, which is effectively a system of underground pipeworks and pumps, which allows us to move water about the region. Now, that gives us a lot more options and allows us to support areas such as the south a lot more easily. The grid system itself allows us to move water into the south area, and if we cast our mind back to 1995, when we had lots and lots of tankers out on the road, we're actually preventing the need to transport water like that. In fact, it's the equivalent of 3,700 tankers per day, which is the same as 155 tankers per hour moving up and down the M1, which we do not need to do by utilising our grid system. Now, by having the fact that we've got a grid and enabling us to move water, it does mean that some customers will be receiving water from a different type of water source. So where you may be used to a reservoir-fed water treatment works source of water, you may now be receiving borehole water, as an example. Now, that can taste a little bit different. That is perfectly normal. It is exactly the same brilliant standard and quality you'd expect from us, but it is normal for it to taste a bit different, so please don't worry. And then finally, we've also applied for drought permits in the south area. This is a formal application to the Environment Agency, which will allow us to abstract and take more water from the environment in a controlled manner. Now, that does mean that we have more options in our ability to reduce the demand on the network and further curb the decline of reservoirs here in the south area. Finally, it's just a big thank you from me on behalf of Yorkshire Water for the brilliant effort that customers have already put in so far to manage and tackle this drought period. It's hugely challenging for us all, but we really do appreciate your hard work in restricting water use and using it wisely. Thank you for your continued understanding.